Usually, artificial islands are built to increase the coastline of the sea. And their living example is the Palm Islands of Dubai. Going against the waves of the sea and making pieces of land there is really the most difficult challenge. But today you will learn about a city that has not been brought to the sea but to the desert. Yes, we are talking about the Sabah Al Ahmed Sea City in Kuwait, which was the dream of Kuwait's business tycoon Khalid Al Marzouk. The beautiful shape of the sea in the middle of Kuwait's hot summer and desert, and the advanced infrastructure for 250,000 people around it was such a mission in which the engineers had to work against the laws of nature. But the question is, why did Kuwait need this mega sea city? What complications have arisen in this that it has been working on it for the past 32 years? And most importantly, how far did the engineers have to go to make the sea city? Viewers, Kuwait is very small compared to others, but despite that it is the second richest country in the Middle East. Kuwait is so rich that the currency that holds the most value in the world is Kuwaiti dinar, where we get $1 for 78 rupees in India and $1 for 200 rupees in Pakistan. In Kuwait, we get 3.2 USD for 1 Kuwaiti dinar. And the biggest reason for this is the crude oil that comes out of here. According to official reports, Kuwait produces more than 300 crore barrels of oil every year. One is so much oil production, and then on top of that, the population of Kuwait is only 4.2 million. This is why every person here is richer than necessary. In Kuwait, it is considered common to have expensive cars, yachts, luxury villas, and luxury comforts. And all this did not start now, but the fate of Kuwait changed 85 years ago when all started coming out of here for the first time. In the 1980s, Kuwait had a lot of money, but now they had less space to make luxury villas. Almost the entire area of Kuwait is filled with barren deserts. It is very difficult to live here because there are no basic facilities. That's why everyone was trying to build their own villa or farmhouse by the sea so that they can enjoy the cool air. Seeing the increasing demand, Kuwaiti business tycoon Khalid Al Marzouk dreamed of building a luxury city whose every villa, every mansion would be built on a private beach. But this would only be possible if there was some empty space on the coastline of Kuwait. Kuwait City had already covered more than half the coast, and many projects had already been made on the remaining coast. Only 15 kilometers before the border with Saudi Arabia, a natural creek system was built on the Persian Gulf. Due to the pressure of the waves, the water in these creeks used to go deep inside. Seeing this, Khalid Marzouk got the idea that why not use these natural creeks to make a whole city here, in which these creeks are extended and given the shape of their own will. He had seen the dream, but no one had any idea how much it would increase the difficulties of completing it. Now, normally, natural coastlines are formed by the pressure of the wind and waves. If the coastline is altered or tried to be changed, it comes back to its original state in a few days. Because they are faced with nature. Now, if you want to make a creek system in the desert, whose shape is also of your choice, and these natural powers do not spoil its shape, then it requires such planning that works against the laws of nature. And here too, some such planning was needed. In 1986, Khalid Al Marzouk's son Fawaz Al Marzouk contracted with a British engineering design company, who worked day and night to make the design of this mega project with the help of computer simulation. Naturally, there were only two tidal creeks here, but two more creeks were decided to be made. Which creek will come out of where? How much pressure of wind and waves will be on it? By doing all these calculations, the creeks that had more water pressure were split and a design was made. But now the matter was in the planning phase that a very big problem was facing. In 1990, Iraq attacked Kuwait. Iraqi soldiers captured the entire Kuwait in just 2 days. The construction of the sea city was far away. During this time, people's running business was also stalled. And the locals were forced to stay in their homes. American allies helped Kuwait and fought against Iraq. This situation lasted for a year, but when Iraqi soldiers became weak, they set fire to more than 700 oil wells in Kuwait. Not only that, but Iraqi soldiers installed underground mines near the oil wells so that no one could dare to extinguish the fire. This fire was so dangerous that it burned non-stop for the next 10 months. According to an estimate, the fire in these oil wells caused a loss of 600,000 barrels per day to Kuwait. That is a loss of 180 crore barrels in 10 months. The oil used in the world today for 15 days was the same amount that was burned in Kuwait. After 10 months, Kuwait was able to control this fire after spending $1.5 billion. This was an incident in history that made Kuwait hollow for the next many years. When Kuwait got out of this problem, it was too late. Such projects had been born in another Gulf country that the project of Kuwait Sea City was not in any account. Yes, we are talking about Dubai. Here the world's most expensive 7-star hotel was built and the construction of many projects of artificial islands had also started. And the construction of the world's tallest building Burj Khalifa had also started. Dubai had already taken most of the international attraction, but still Kuwait started the construction of the Sea City in 2004. This project of Sea City was divided into 5 phases and it was decided that the phases would be completed one by one. The first task was to dig at phase 1 and 2. For this, 40 bulldozers, 90 articulated dumpers, 87 excavators, 48 dump trucks, and 6 cranes were ordered. This was not an ordinary excavation because silt is found in this part of the desert. Silt is a very soft type of sand on which no building can stand. Not only the building, it is also very difficult to walk on it. Therefore, the sand was first dug and then removed from the top layer, and then the silt was removed from the bottom. After that, the same sand was added and the level of the ground was increased. So that in the coming years, due to global warming, the sea level increases so that it does not affect the sand on the coast. In this project, silt and sand were excavated at a very mass level. For many months, an army of 24-hour workers was engaged in this work. According to the estimate of the project director, 74 million cubic meters of sand were removed from phase 1, 2 and 3 of Sea City. This was almost as much sand as the world's largest cricket stadium in Ahmedabad can be filled 20 times. The level had increased with sand, but now it was time to compress it. Because this sand was very loose at the time and could not withstand the foundation of any building. For compression, a weight of 15,000 kilograms was dropped from the crane on the ground. The place where this load fell, there was a very big pit. In a day, when this weight of 1200 times 15 tons was dropped on the ground, it was like this. Everything else was in its place, but there was one problem that everyone was being afraid of. When sea water is added to these artificial creeks, will this water flow naturally or not? If the water does not change over time, then fungus will grow in it and the smelly water can fail this project badly. To deal with this problem, it was decided to install tidal gates. Tidal gate is such a mechanical gate that opens automatically at the pressure of the water coming from one side. When the waves coming from the sea are closed or reduced, this gate will automatically close again. After testing on computer simulation, it was noticed that after installing the tidal gate, 100% water in the creeks will automatically change. The problem of tidal gate was just a big problem solution, but there were many other problems to be solved. In this project of Sea City, a total of 250 kilometers of new beaches were going to be built. That is, this coastline is longer than the coastline of Kuwait. Coastline. For so many new beaches, we would need that special sand that we usually find on beaches. Now, where to get so much sand from was a big question. Experts have found a solution to this problem. Normal desert sand, which was not lacking in Kuwait, has particles of all sizes. The sand on the beach has larger particles. So it was decided that the large particles of sand would be filtered from the normal desert sand. The sand was washed with water and the large particles were separated. This process was done 4 times. The particles that were left in the process of washing and filtering were perfect for the beach. 4,000 tons of sand was brought in a day and washed with water and filtered. This process continued day and night for several months. To save the sand from the pressure of the waves, it was decided to make stone walls. The stones placed on these walls were brought from a stone quarry across the border of Saudi Arabia. Because Kuwait did not have any stone quarry of its own. After 6 years of hard work, 3 phases of Sea City were completed. Now it was the turn of a grand launch party. The rich man of that time, Sabah al-Ahmad of Kuwait, inaugurated this project in a grand fashion. And on this occasion, he decided to name this project after him. And since then, this project has been known as Sabah al-Ahmad Sea City. This is a very complex mega project of its own, of which only 4 phases have been completed so far. And the construction of the 5th phase is still going on. Kuwait has faced many difficulties to complete this project for the past 32 years. And it is very difficult to describe the engineering challenges that are faced in this in just a short video. I hope you will like and share this video of ZDM TV. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.